All right, guys, our next guest needs very little introduction. He is a Pride and a UFC legend. He is a former Pride middleweight champion. He is a former 2003 Pride middleweight Grand Prix tournament winner. He is the axe murderer, none other than Wanderlei Silva. Wanderlei, welcome back to Submission Radio. How are you?
Very good, and I'm so happy for you guys open this space for me to talking to my Australian fans. Thanks so much. I'm very happy.
Well, absolutely. It's been a while since we've spoken to you. You know, first I wanted to ask you, Wanderlei, we saw that you ran into the legend Flavor Flav. Where did you run into him, and how long have you known him for?
Man, he living in my community gate, and he's so fun. He's a really good guy, really good friend of mine.
Yeah, look, it looked like you guys had known each other for a while. Now, before we talk about the big news in your life, we just want to go back a few months, Wanderlei. You welcomed the new year in Japan and spent New Year's Eve with guys like Mirko, Cro Cop, and Fedor, Emelianenko. What was that like for you, and how did you feel being back in Japan? Did it feel like you were back in your Pride days?
Yeah, I feel so happy because I'm Cro Cop, I'm talking with Fedor, and you guys be a good friend. And this guy is a legend, and I'm so glad to start this guy in good condition, physically, mentally, and financially. You know, and I'm so happy for these guys having success. This success can I'm scared these young guys don't gonna have the opportunity to have in the future.
Well, it was a fun event, Wanderlei, and one of the things that happened, there was a bit of a brawl between Mirko, Cro Cop, and Fujita, and you and Fedor basically played security and held everybody back. What was going through your mind at that moment? Was that very much a Pride moment for you?
Man, I think if somebody touched me, gonna be bad, because the guys start to fight, and I don't see what is gonna happen. I don't know what is happening.
Yeah.
I scared, man.
You scared? No way, Wanderlei. You could never be scared. Now, there were rumors that you and Phil Baroni were going to fight at the same event. Just wondering, was there any truth to that? Was that fight ever being close to actually happening?
No, not yet. No, nobody talked to me about that.
Okay, because it's obviously Phil Baroni posted that up on his Twitter a while back. Now, the event that you attended, of course, is IGF, which is run by Antonio Inoki, the pro wrestling legend and WWE Hall of Famer. You know, the biggest rumors that were going around not too long ago were that you were going to the WWE, Wanderlei. How true is this, and have you had some kind of meeting with the people from the WWE?
No, the talking don't continue, you know. Because I'm a real fight, you know. I can't do pro wrestling. No, I don't know. I never do before, and I don't know if I'm gonna break the rules.
So just to clarify, Wanderlei, the offer that the WWE made for you, was it just to do a pro wrestling match against Chael Sonnen? What kind of deal did they offer you?
Yeah, like that, like a pro wrestling, you know. And I don't know. So we want to fight against Sonnen. I wanted to do the real fight. I don't want to do pro wrestling.
Because you announced on Twitter, I believe it was a few months ago, that you got an interesting offer from the WWE. I'm just curious, how did that come about? Did somebody call you, or did you just receive an email?
Somebody contacting and asking about.
I mean, the interesting thing is, you know, pro wrestling, it's not real. And as you mentioned, you're a real fighter. Do you think it was just too difficult for you to have to work with Chael Sonnen and pretend to fight him rather than fight him in real life?
Yeah, it's potentially can go into the wrong way.
I guess the rumors are squashed. No Wanderlei at Wrestlemania, unfortunately. Now, Wanderlei, you recently tweeted out a tweet to all of your fans. You asked them to help free you. You said you were a bit of a slave to the UFC and Dana White, and for them to pass on a message to Dana White and the UFC to free Wanderlei. For the fans around Australia and New Zealand and around the world listening, can you explain that a little bit if they didn't understand what you meant by that?
Yeah, the problem is because I have one fight left in my contract, and I don't want to fight him for this event anymore. And these guys hold my contract, and I can't do nothing in other event. And I'm not gonna fight there. I'm not gonna fight in other event. And these guys hold my contract. I want to be free. I don't want to work for these guys anymore. And he don't sign the agreement and say, you know, you are free. And because the truth, I don't know if they're going to fight again or not. I think no. Today they're going to fight, no? And there's no reason for these guys holding my contract. No, he just sign a paper and it's done. But he don't do that, and I'm so bad because this is disrespectful for me. No, I have all my history in this sport. No, and I have my name. Imagine what's gonna happen with the young guys, and they don't have a name and no expression. These guys do what these guys want. No, this is bad because what's happened with me can happen with any guy can sign this agreement.
I'm just curious because, thus far, Wanderlei, the only sort of interaction we've seen between you and Dana and things like that has been through Twitter. Have you actually contacted the guys? Like, have you spoken to Dana or Lorenzo or anyone at this point?
No, these guys don't talk with me, these guys don't talk with me. No say nothing. And this is so disrespectful because, one thing can make me retired because when happen all these things with the Athletic Commission, these guys don't contact me and say, hey, gonna happen this, gonna happen that. I saw what is gonna happen on the news, on the internet.
Oh, wow.
And this is so disrespectful. No, and I don't want to work for these guys anymore.
Well, we saw recently that you were actually going to appear at a Bellator event and not even fight, but just meet some of your fans around the area, and then you had to cancel at the last second. Was that because the UFC wouldn't let you do that because you're under contract with them?
Yeah. The guys are paying me money to sign some autographs, meeting some guys. And I received one email can say, I will be there. The guy's gonna sue me, gonna go to the lawyer, go to the judges, and I can't work. That's the problem, That because this is make me like a slave. No, I can't work anymore. No, these guys don't pay me nothing, and I can't work in other place. That's the problem, Since these guys want to have me on contract, but we don't work in these guys say no. Okay, you're gonna work for us, but these guys no want. No, that's the problem. And this can happen with any guy can have this contract. No, we don't have it. We don't have our name. We can't do nothing. We can't do nothing.
It's interesting that, obviously, like, you're not fighting for Bellator, you also can't do any appearances or anything like that, or it looks like pro wrestling matches. The other thing is, Wanderlei, you're suing the Nevada State Athletic Commission. I'm just wondering, why did you decide to sue the commission instead of the UFC, like a lot of other fighters?
No, because this commission is the most bad thing in the world. Now, these guys catch one big star 30 days before the fight, and he can fight. I ask him, since this guys catch one new guy, the guys don't have a name. You thinking 1 month before, you think this guy can fight? No, of course not. The guys catch the other star with drugs, they don't happen nothing. No, who judge this? Who tell? No, we never know. We don't know. We don't know who controls this commission. We know who controls because the guy gives an interview and say, gonna happen this, gonna happen that, and exactly what has happened. The promoter say in the interview gonna happen this, and exactly what has happened. We know these guys control everything, but you are one commission. You need to have the rules for anyone, the same rules. You can't have one rule to the famous guys and one rule to the young guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And, for the fans listening around the world, what is the situation with you and the commission currently? Are you any closer to figuring out the situation? Are you any closer to being able to, fight in the future?
I'm not accepting nothing from this commission. This commission is nothing for me. No, this commission representing nothing for me. This commission lost all the credentials when the guys catch the guy 1 month before the fight, and the guy fights, catch the other guys, the drug is not happen nothing. Who is this guy for judge somebody? No, this guy knows nothing. I don't respect nothing. I don't accept nothing from this commission.
With the commissioner, we've seen a lot of times, like, let's say recently, there was some ridiculous decisions at UFC in Rio, and, according to the Brazilian commission at least, they will stand, and that happens a lot in Nevada and pretty much all states. Are you worried at all that the commission is, too powerful and that they won't change anything?
Exactly, that's the problem. These guys give the power to some guys who don't understand the sport, don't understand the reality from the fighters, These guys not in fight. These guys don't know nothing. I give my name for the man. You guys wanna help? I'm here. I can help you guys to make the rules, to make everything right. But nobody contacts me. It's more easy for these guys to do what these guys want. These guys gonna kill the sport, like what is happening right now. Last year, this event down 40%, and I'm scared what's gonna happen this year. This guy's gonna kill the sport, gonna kill all what we had a lot of years to building. This guy's gonna make it down fast.
Just wondering, obviously the commission has power over you fighting in certain places in the world, but there's other places in the world where you can fight without the commission having to approve you. If you got out of this contract with the UFC, do you foresee yourself possibly having another fight in your career?
I don't know. Fight, I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight anymore. But today I'm not going to fight, no? Yep. I feel more comfortable to be there because what these guys do with the sport is so bad.
Well, let's say everything went well, and obviously you did get released from your contract. What would you want to do next? Like you obviously say you don't want to fight, or you may not, and then you say you don't really want to get into pro wrestling. What would be your next move? Would you sort of be a Bellator ambassador, or what exactly would you want to do?
I don't know. I just don't want to be with these guys anymore. It's true. Maybe I don't want to do nothing, but I don't want to have my name with these guys anymore.
Now, you obviously are one of the people helping the young people in the MMA community, and you want everybody to get a fair deal and a good contract. Obviously, the UFC are kicking in the Reebok deal starting from July. What do you think this means for a lot of athletes? Do you think this is a negative thing for a lot of the athletes in the UFC?
Man, these guys pay some money to be part of the event, and this money don't go into the fighters. I don't know how many millions this brand pay to the event, but this money don't go into the fighters yet. The guys give you some shirts, give you some shoes, and nobody receiving nothing. Now I saw some guys lost 5-6 sponsors. Now sponsors can pay for his just training. Now these guys don't have these sponsors anymore. So who gonna pay? But soon, really soon. I scared we're back to the days when the fighters to training and working. That's gonna happen. If you guys want to have the fighters fighting professional, but we are not professional. No, we don't receive the fight money. Are not professional. The sponsors are not professional. I want to see how much these guys are gonna pay for each fighter in each event.
Yeah, that's definitely the big question everybody wants to know. Wanderlei, we have to ask, somebody that you knew well and trained with for many years is Wanderlei Silva. He's been in a bit of trouble recently and been in the news for his failed drug test. I'm just curious, what was your reaction when you heard the news?
Against who?
Anderson Silva.
Yeah, I feel bad because he's a great champion, he's a great fighter, and it's not his fault. This is this commission fault. Because the commission accepts one guy with some illegal things in the body fighting with the other clean guy because the other guy have just marijuana. Marijuana is not an anabolic, And these guys catch him 1 month before. In 1 month, usually the result is a 2-3 days. This guy have 1 week before, after the guys, this guy gonna suspend this guy. Why? I asking you, why this commission 1 month before accepted this guy fight against the other guy? Why? And this commission wants to judge somebody. This commission don't know nothing about this sport.
And obviously there was the other situation where John Jones tested positive for cocaine prior before his fight as well. Was that a questionable situation to you as well, Wanderlei?
No, I think what the guy is wrong. You do drugs. He's wrong. No, everybody know. But what the guy do in his private life is his life. Nobody. And this is other fault for the commission, because now the guy is making the bad image to the great champion, and the guy say, no, we make the test, but it's not gonna happen nothing. And this is bad, man. You catch the guy, you need to judge him and say, hey, you make it foul, you do this, you do that, to make an example to anyone. But the commission will do nothing because the guy is a big star. And maybe have to happen the same thing with the guy, the new guy. How do you guys think it's gonna happen?
Yeah. Well, another situation was Hector Lombard. His fight got cancelled when he was caught for taking illegal substances, PEDs, and no one notified him of what happened till after the fight was cancelled. He was in the dark and didn't really know what was happening. Do you think that the commission needs to tighten up and at least let fighters know what's happening before it breaks out in the news, or at least let them know what's happening so that they know what's going on with their careers?
These guys need to have the same rule to anyone. No have rules. Each different guy is a different rules. That's the problem. The guys don't have the same rule to anyone. That's the problem.
And with, in terms of like what people are calling the drug problem in MMA, you've got guys like, say, John Jones popping for cocaine, Hector Lombard being caught, Anderson Silva, you got John Fitch. Do you think that MMA has a drug problem, and is it worse now than ever, or has it always been there due to, the testing?
No, this is the real problem. I think there's too much pressure on the fighters. The guys need to win, because you don't win, the guy's gonna cut you, the guy's gonna sue you, the guy's gonna go to the judge, the guy's gonna suspend you. Yeah, this is too much pressure, and the guys try to do everything to win. The problem is the commission and the event. That's the problem, because the fighters, and every time we do the same, every time we fighting good, we fighting hard, but there's too much pressure on the fighters. Too much pressure for everybody. These guys not making money. These guys have a lot of injuries. These guys don't have time to his life. And these guys, and everybody wants these guys to fight like a professional. This is impossible.
I've just got one more question, Wanderlei, about Anderson Silva before we jumped and talked about your career. Just with Anderson, he admitted that he took some substances in order to help recover and heal his leg. Do you think that was the right thing to do, and do you think that he should have waited longer before returning?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough one. Now, Wanderlei, we let the fans know that you're coming on the show. We've got a couple of fan questions here for you. One is from a user named Pride Rules. He says, Wanderlei, one dream fight fans never got to see is you versus Fedor and Pride. Was there any opportunities ever presented for you two to fight? And what was your relationship like with Fedor back in those days?
I think the Pride Rules is the best rules, because we can do the real fight. And the truth, I don't have nothing in my mind about that.
Sure.
Okay, another question is the MMA professor. Everyone is buzzing about your fellow Shootbox member Chris Cyborg possibly fighting Ronda Rousey. There's a lot of speculation, but who do you think would win between Cyborg and Rousey, and why?
I think Ronda is a really good fighter, but I think she don't pass the first round against Cyborg.
She doesn't last the first round?
No, never.
Oh, wonderful, because obviously her trainer said that he thinks her boxing would be better than Cyborg. So would you predict that Cyborg would knock Ronda Rousey out in the first round?
I think she's going to pass in the top like a truck, It's different. She's a really good fighter, but she never fighting nobody like Cyborg, and she can't run anymore. You want to say you are the best in the world, you need to accept the fight and fight against the best. And Cyborg is the best. No, I think she does pass the first round.
Well, it's definitely the fight the fans want to see. Now, Wanderlei, we're going to do what we call the Submission Radio Tap-Out round. We're just going to throw a bunch of fun questions at you, and you answer with the first thing that comes to your mind. So, first one is, what are your thoughts on Cro Cop returning to the UFC?
Good. I think it's good for him. No, he's doing good. He's fighting good, and I hope he has a good condition to fight.
Wanderlei, is there still any chance that you'd consider doing a Metamoris match against Chael Sonnen in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? And who do you think wins in a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu contest, you or Chael Sonnen?
No, I don't want to do this with him.
If you could have one rematch, which one would you choose and why?
The two, I don't want to fight anymore. No, this is maybe not exist.
Well, here's a different type of question. Fans are wondering this. What kind of music do you enjoy listening to now on your iPod, Wanderlei Silva? What are some of the bands that you enjoy listening to?
I like any kind of music. I think in any style, every style has one classic. You know, I like every kind of music.
Yeah, well, I can't let you off the hook. Give me one name. Give me one name of a band that Wanderlei Silva likes to listen to.
I like hip hop. I like blues. I like jazz.
Oh,
I like
nice.
Amy Whitehouse. Amy's good.
Now, Wanderlei, now that you're not fighting, what are some hobbies that you've been dedicating more time to?
I like to be with my son. No, I be with my son a lot. My family and enjoy the life.
Give us your thoughts on Rafael dos Anjos' amazing performance at UFC 185. Did you watch the fight? What did you think of his performance?
He's doing great. I think he's a great professional, great champion, and I think he's going to be champion for a long time.
Well, Wanderlei, there's a lot of, I guess, mystery. Everybody wants to know what happens with, you and the Athletic Commission. For the fans listening at home, what can we expect from Wanderlei Silva in 2015?
I think the first thing I was going to be free from this contract, and after I'm going to look what's going to happen.
There you guys go, Wanderlei Silva. Hopefully gets an opportunity to meet you guys down here in Australia in the future. And you can follow Wanderlei on Twitter at WandFC, WANDFC. Wanderlei, all the best in your situation. You're a true legend in the sport. And as always, it's an absolute honor to have you on the program. Best of luck in 2015.
In double, thanks so much. Thanks so much for all the support that I have in Australia. And I hope I'm back soon to make a great tour on Australia. Maybe I'll be close to your city. Come and visit me. Thanks so much. Have a good night. Have a good day.